Okay, we left off page 74. 74. A person, he says, who acknowledges the unity of Hashem, it's part of his tradition. It was passed down through tradition. So he truly believes. Yeah? One cannot be sure that he will not embrace polytheism. Shituf. Shem yishma divri hamishnim v'tainosam efshish tishtane datav yitav lo yakir. Because he says, if you hear the position of those who don't accept unity of Hashem, you may consider that position. This is what I mentioned the other day. You know, that certain person, you're involved in certain theological debates. Unless you're really rooted in understanding what you believe in, it's not so simple. It could actually cause a certain degree of doubt or consideration of something else. The Gemara tells us, it's a Gemara we had in Avodah Zarah, Reb Chananya ben Trajan was one of the 10 martyrs who were killed. Reb Chananya ben Trajan. He was wrapped in the Sefer Torah and burnt with the Sefer Torah. So the Gemara in Avodah Zarah asks why. Why did he deserve to be put to death in such a way? So Gemara says because he once engaged with a tzduki, with a Sadducee, he was a Jew, and he interpreted a pasuk which was not a correct interpretation, but it was like an ingenious interpretation. So for a moment, he thought it was, pretty witty. It was like ingenious. And so because he had some degree of value to what the man, of course he rejected it. That's the reason why he deserved. He deserved that level of suffering to be one of the 10 martyrs. That's what the Gemara says. He was one of the leading Torah sages of the generation. Of course, Hashem is medaktik and tzadikov kechut hasayra. Somewhere says, and why did his wife was also killed. Not killed that way, they just killed her. Because she should have, she should have rebuked him. You hear this? She should have rebuked her husband. Yeah, so there's a famous word from Chaim Shmulevitz. Rav Chaim Shmulevitz, Zechat Tzadik Levrocha. You mean, Rav Chananya ben Trajan, the leading Torah sage generation. His wife is going to tell him what's right and what's wrong within the context of Torah. What you're going to serve at the Shabbos Suda, that's a different story. She'll set that. But this is within his field. She's going to advise him. It's like your wife telling me about cardiology. Because she read an article in Reader's Digest. What's going on over here? Yeah, I understand. So he says that it doesn't make a difference. A person has a sense of right and wrong, and if that's the case, it's not a question of how to do something, but you have a sense of right and wrong. Even the wife is the only one who can say it. She has to say it. And because she didn't say it, therefore she also had a degree of culpability. Okay? So therefore he says, a person where his belief in unity of God is not rooted in understanding, it's purely tradition. See, this is the danger. People go to college, and they take certain courses, comparative religions. And you're exposed to other things. So these boys, many years ago I was giving a shiur, and there was a certain person, there's certain people, they have certain idiosyncrasies that it's clear they're bachelors. They were not married. So there's a certain man came to the shiur, and for some reason he pipes up. Then he was about 55, this man. And he said he had all the clear indicators he was not married. So he says to me, he makes a comment, there must have been about 20 people there, that the reason why he really accepts and he values Yeshiva University's approach to Torah because it's Torah Mada. It's Torah Mada. Secular knowledge together with Torah. So I said, and why is it so special? Because that's a Rambam Jew. The Rambam is Torah Mada. Rambam was a physician, he was a philosopher, he was this, he was that. And he was the greatest. said, it's Torah Mada. So I said, I want to ask you a question. It has to do with what we're learning now. Just not telling you stories. I said, the Rambam writes about himself that when did he pursue medicine? Only after he was imbued and overflowing with Torah, that's when he pursued medicine. Why? Because once he was so imbued with Torah, whatever he processed was through the eyes of Torah. That's what the Rambam writes. Everything's Torah. You look at science, everything's Torah. So I said, a boy goes to a shir 2 hours a day. He invests 14 hours a day in the secular subjects. That's Torah Mada. You have a few sprinklings, a little sprinkling of Torah, that's Torah Mada. So how well rooted is a person who studies today? Now he engages in what? Comparative religions. Takes such a course. So of course he believes in the unity of God. But he's entering in an area where he could create problems for himself. A person where he worked and he's so well weathered in this area, now he goes, seeing the falseness, it only strengthens his position. Because he's able to refute whatever he comes upon. But he's not in a position that he can refute it. And as a result of that, it could cause certain doubts or considerations, and those considerations are problematic, very problematic. And that's what he's saying. A person whose belief, although he believes full in unity, but it's rooted in tradition, when he's exposed to other positions, that he may consider those positions. And if he considers them, then he's also involved in shituv, his unity. He's not believing in unity. Ramban didn't have to study. Ramban, he didn't have to know it. He took it. He didn't study. There's an expression, he hit the ground running. That's the way, that was the Ramban. Ramban was the lead one. There's no question, One of the things in my Mashgiach, before the 25th, he would say, he would speak about the debate of the Ramban. Because there's a mitzvah to make a mockery of idolatry. It says, Kol itzinus asura, chutz mitzvah avodah zarah. To be deprecating, you shouldn't be deprecating in anything, but to deprecate idolatry, that you should. He didn't do it every year, but he did it many years ago. And he spoke about, he's brought up one of the things the Ramban said. It says, what is an indication of Mashiach? Lo yisa goy el goy cherev. That the swords we made into plowshares, and one nation will not raise a sword to the other. So the Ramban says, he was killed. If he himself was killed by the sword or crucified, he couldn't help himself. He's going to help others. This was like the blow below the belt to Christianity. It shows the whole thing is nonsense. So how could he be the Messiah if the Messiah is supposed to bring peace and he was killed? That's when they came up. Because of that, there's a second coming. Because of that, there's a second coming. First time he didn't make it, he's coming back. There's a comeback. You lose the first 1 year, he's World Series, you try for the next one. That's the way it works. To be continued. See that? When I tell these stories are minimally 45 years ago. Some as much, it's like reliving it at this moment, as if it happened just a moment ago. That's how clear and vivid the. What? Ask David. You saw the play, didn't you? No. No. It was a few days afterwards. He had to flee for his life. Okay. That's why Chaim's been in California all these months. What? Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's like I always say, a person's a chassid could tell over a chassidish story, Meiser. I can't tell over a Hasidic story, Meiser. But a Litvish story I can tell over. Because that I live. The other thing I can't live, that story.
So the story getting the numbers. Last week,
Harvey, I don't want you to miss this. There's a story.
at the temple in Manor, they had
An imam? No,
no,
no, they, okay.
had a court case. Abraham was brought up on charges of attempted murder. Alan Dershowitz was the defendant attorney. He defended Abraham. And Elliot Spitzer was the prosecutor.
Elliot Spitzer came to Temple Emmanuel.
He was
Look,
the
they accept Bali Tshuva over there. What am I supposed to tell you?
So he was the prosecutor, and they invited 1,600 people. They had to pay $36, double time to
He has debt to pay, Spitzer. He has to pay. Okay.
And the people who were invited were the jurors, and they had to help. And the whole court case was, they prepared. I mean,
Of course.
Dershowitz, he prepared, Spitzer, and
No.
I read the review of it. Anyway, he was found not